Hello viewers, welcome to CC Lectures. Myself Dr. Preeti Jagwani. I am from Department of Computer Science, Aryabhat College, University of Delhi. So in this series of Introduction to Programming in C++, today's topic is control flow. So what actually control flow is, and what are the constructs which are going to be studied under this topic of control flow. Let me begin with the lecture formally. So basically control flow is actually, we can say, the order in which the individual statements of programs, either the individual statements or functions or instructions are executed. Now you all are aware that a program is basically, what actually a program is, if we want to consider. So program is nothing but a series of statements or instructions which are required to be executed in order to achieve a particular goal. So that set of instructions is the program. That's the simplest I can say is the definition of program is. Now coming to the order in which those statements will be executed, that order is basically known as control flow. And here it could be, whenever I am talking about the statements or instructions, that could be an individual statement or that could be a block. Block here is a kind of a group of statements, a set of statements. So the one who is executing the component which is executing your program needs to determine what section of code is running in a program at any time, and then it is also, the control flow is also used to redirect, or I can say to control the flow of program execution based on the logic of the application. So whatever task you are going to do using that particular program, whatever the logic of application is, on the basis of that application, what could be the flow, what could be the sequence of instructions to be executed, either individual or block statements. That sequence is actually we can say that flow is called the control flow. Now coming to what are the constructs which are available for controlling the flow of a program. So we can have different types of control flow constructs, and these are sequence, selection, iteration, procedural abstraction, recursion, non-determinacy and concurrency. So I'm just repeating: a sequence, selection, iteration, procedural abstraction, recursion, non-determinacy and concurrency. So within this lecture, as we have just started with introduction to programming, we are going to cover only basic three types of control flow statements or control flow constructs, we can say. One is sequence, another one is selection, and third one is iteration. Now let me give a brief about this sequence, selection and iteration. So sequence is, as the name indicates, this is the simplest thing. So execute this and then execute the next one. So do this and then do this and then do this. So for example, if I am talking about sequence, the simplest example of sequence could be let's say a match. So considering a football match, so there will be first half, then there will be a break, and then there will be second half. So this is kind of set sequence, I can say. We cannot say break will be at the first place and then we will have second half which is followed by first half. This is not the sequence. So the sequence is first half, break, and then second half. Yes, this is what the sequence is. So do this or execute this statement, and then the next statement is to be executed, and the next statement is to be executed. So this is what you called sequence. Coming to selection. So selection is consisting of kind of many different statements. If a statement with its, along with the various variations, I can say. Then we have switch, then we have case statements for selection. So selection, let me guide you briefly, is depending upon the condition you need to do this or you need to that. only one of them. So that is what you called selection. Then comes iteration. Iteration here is for repeating a set of repeating a particular set of statements, unless your condition is fulfilled on which this is running, or maybe we can say, let us say 10 times we need to repeat a particular statement. That is also called, that's repetition is called iteration. So after this brief, I am coming to the these control flow constructs, which are sequence, selection and iteration. We will consider them in detail one by one. But before going into further details of your sequence, selection and iteration, we are going to see what actually is written inside the program. So when we consider the actual code, in the actual code there can be statements which are needed to be executed. There can be some expressions, these expressions are evaluated, and there can be some declarations too, these declarations are elaborated. So three important components of a program when we are talking about control flow are statements, expressions and declarations. Just to repeat, statements which is to be executed, expression which is to be evaluated, and declaration which is to be elaborated. So coming to what all are the control flow statements or control flow constructs available in C++, so that you can as I have told you that these are divided into various types, among which we are going to among which we are going to study three. So selection statements, then you can have jump statements, and then iteration statements, and yes, sequence is also there. So coming to selection statements, so selection statements in C++ are if and else, or simple if. There are variations to it. We will be covering all these in a short while. Then we are having switch cases. As far as iteration statements are there, this could be kind of repeating the thing. So we can repeat it, we can repeat a block of a statement, or we can repeat a sequence of statements by using either while or do while or for. These are actually the statements which are used for the particular purpose. So for switch case and if else are used for selection for performing the activity of selection, or which are used for selection control flow. Then your while, do while and for are used for iteration, or we can say repetition. Now another component was there, which was sequence. So sequence was pretty simple, saying that you need to perform the statement 1 first, then you need to perform the statement 2, and then you need to perform the statement 3. That means whatever the statements are written, they will be executed in a sequence unless specified. So when I am talking about unless specified, that means there could be some jump statements. So these jump statements are break, go to and continue. So if these jump statements are not there, or kind of we can say iteration statements are not there, or selection statements are not there, in the simple situation your program will go from 1, 2, 3, 4 statements. So statement number 1, statement number 2, statement number 3 and statement number 4, unless you have some any flow breaking statement in between. So what are these flow breaking statement? Your break is there to interrupt the flow, go to is there to interrupt the flow, then continue is also one statement. So all these are known as jump statements. So now we have sequence, then we have selection, then we have iteration and jump statements. Now let us try to explore all these in detail. So coming to the first and the simplest and the foremost important control flow construct, which is sequencing. So sequence is one of the most basic control flow construct, as I have told you. What actually sequence means? Sequence is, it refers to elaboration, evaluation and execution. So, elaboration of declarations, evaluation of expressions and execution of statements. So, whether they are declarations, statements or expressions, that will be executed or that will be done one after another, neither in parallel nor out of order. Parallel will parallel processing of this kind of sequence statements, sequence declaration and sequence expressions will not take place, neither they will go out of order. So, this is basically what you called is sequencing. Now, coming to specific syntax of C++. So, C++ uses semicolons for sequentializing statements and declarations. So, basically whenever we, what I am trying to say here, whenever we want to terminate one one statement or one declaration and we want to begin with another, what is the symbol we are using? That is the semicolon. So, semicolon here is signaling the termination of a statement or termination of a declaration and the beginning of the another one. But coming to the expressions, we need to use comma operator for expressions. How? I will be covering this in a short while. So, we will be among the three kind of parts which are statements, expressions and declarations. For statements and declarations we are going to use semicolon, and for expressions the comma operator will be required. Now, let us see this, or let us try to understand this thing with the help of an example. So, as you can see on the screen, I am having some declarations, which is the first says x equals to 5. That is a simple declaration of a variable, followed by a semicolon. Then y is equals to x plus 3. So, y is equals to x plus 3 is again an expression in which x plus 3 is evaluated and the value will be assigned to y. This is also followed by a semicolon, but if I am talking about this thing, x is equals to f of a, g of b and then 3. So, for these kinds of expressions, I need a comma operator, and these this comma operator will also be used with other conditions of if else and some other statements too. So, I will be telling you this in a short while. So, x equals to 5 is an statement, y is equal to x plus 3 is an expression, while others are declarations. So, in this declarations we can use commas. So, basically if no other control structure is given, by default we will go with the sequence. So, sequence we can say is the default control structure in which instructions or statements are executed one after another. Now, what could be in these instructions? So, how these whenever I am talking about instructions, the example of instructions or the daily life examples of instruction is we have some how to guides for recipes and directions, then we have some step by step content formats such as forms, reports of events. So, all these are examples of instructions. So, any instruction in your daily life is based on the sequence control structure, or the instructions in your program code are also based on the sequence control structure. So, sequence is pretty simple, as I have given you the example earlier also of a football match. So, first half of a soccer match, then followed by interval kind of the break, and then which is again followed by the second half. So, this is a simple sequence. Now, this sequence can be disturbed if we have various construct in between. What are those various construct? That I will be telling you in a moment. Now, coming to after sequence, coming to the next, which is selection statement. What actually this selection statement is? So, what happens is, it is not always the case that program statements are to be executed straightforward one after another sequentially. So if this is the case, then there is only sequence construct or only sequence control flow construct, and we don't need anything else. But this is not the case, that program statements are to be executed straightforward one after another. This doesn't happen always. So what actually could be the another possible scenario? We may need to execute or skip certain set of instructions based on some conditions. We need to jump to another statement. So yes, we need there is a requirement to skip some statements, there is a requirement to go to other statements based on a particular condition. So whenever I am talking about breaking the sequence construct based on some conditions, that means the discussion is going about selection statement. So selection statements basically evaluates some test expressions. Those test expressions can be single test expressions or can be multiple test expressions, and these test expressions will return either true or false. So for example, if I am comparing a value or a variable, let's say with a variable, let's say x with 5. So whether I am going to look for a condition that whether x is less than 5, or we can look for a condition whether x equals to 5, or we can look for a condition whether x greater than 5. So answer of x less than 5, x equals to 5 or x greater than 5 can be either in true or false. So we will be having some text expressions. So x greater than 5 or maybe x equals to 5, all these are test expressions. So selection statement is about evaluation of these test expression, and these test expression are going to result in either true or false. Now this test expression can be single test expression or multiple test expression. We will be covering this. Now test expressions are giving you a binary answer or a binary value, whether true or false. So outcome of this test expression or the condition is going to help us in determining which block of the statement has to be executed. So for example, let's say if x is less than 5, we will print our number is less than 5 if this expression is true, and if x is less than 5 is resulting in false. So if x is less than 5 is resulting in false, that means x is not less than 5, or essentially x is having a value which is greater than 5. So in that case, your statement x is less than 5 is giving you a false value, and then within that situation you will be printing that no, x is not less than 5. So if x is less than 5, we will go to print some condition, otherwise we will be printing some another condition. So depending upon what is the we can say outcome of the test expression or the condition, we will be taking block to be executed. Now coming to what are the construct, particularly in C++, in order to implement this selection statement. So for selection statements in C++, we are having two statements, basically if else. So now if else is considering if else is having various components within it, or various, I can say, variations within it, and another one is a switch case statement. So let us try to cover them one by one. Now coming to if statement. So if a can be in the form of a simple statement, it can be in the form of an if else statement, or it can be in the form of a nested if else statement. So first of all, let us take simple if statement. So simple if statement says it is consisting of a Boolean expression followed by one or more statements. So what is the syntax of this simple if statement? So simple if statement is if, and then within the bracket we will be writing condition or a boolean expression which is going to give us the answer either in true or false, and then within the curly brackets there all will be the statements written which will be executed if that boolean expression is true. So, if then a boolean expression or a condition within the bracket, and within the curly bracket we are writing all those statements which are executed if that boolean expression which is written after if is going to give us true. So, what actually this means? This means that we have written if and then a condition and then a block is given. So, presence of curly brackets here is indicating a block. So, whatever statements are written within that block, those all statements will be executed if the condition is true. And what happens? So, now the another what is happening in the case when your boolean expression is giving you the true thing, then the block of the code inside the that curly bracket will be executed, fine. But what is going to happen if the boolean expression is evaluating or is giving an outcome of false? Then we can say the set of code which is written within that curly bracket will be skipped totally, will not be executed, and whatever is written after that curly bracket will be executed. So, now what is happening? So, please try to understand. If I am saying if there is an condition and there is an true block, so that true block or the block of expressions will take place only if the boolean expression is true, and then in that case also if the boolean expression is true, that block will be executed, whatever statements are written in that block, and then whatever is written after that block will also be executed. But if the boolean expression evaluates to false, then in that situation whatever is written in the block will not be executed and the control will directly jump to whatever is written after the block, after the true block. Now, this can be better understood with the help of an figure which is given on the screen. So, we are going to take a condition, and if that condition is true, then that conditional code which was written inside the curly bracket will take place, and then the control will go to the next statement. And in case the condition is evaluating to false, then in that case that conditional code or that curly bracket will not take place, will not be executed, and the control is directly jumping to, you can say here in this figure it is jumping to that particular circle. So, it is coming to onto the control is coming onto that statement which is written in the circle in both the cases, but if it is the condition is false, that it is coming to the circle directly, and if the condition is true, it is coming to the circle after execution of that conditional code which is written in the bracket. And I hope this is pretty clear now. Now, coming to an example of this. So, example the standard things are here: hash include, iostream, using namespace. Now, within the main, let us say I am giving one declaration which says a is equals to 10, and now I am giving in boolean expression if a is less than 20, and within the conditional code or within the curly bracket I have written a is less than 20, that is to be printed. So, see out a is less than 20 and then curly bracket close, that means printing the statement a is less than 20 is in the true block, we can say, or is in the conditional code which is to be executed when the boolean expression is true. And after that, it is written or it is printed as the value of A is the and the value of A is A. That means the value of A is to be printed and finally return 0. So, what is happening in this situation? If you can see, my A is less than 20 years. So, block is true. So, two statements will be printed. First will say A is less than 20 and the second will say the value of A is 10. But in case assuming the value of A is 30, then in that situation what will happen? 30 is not less than 20. So, that particular statement which says A is less than 20 will not be printed. Only the print statement will be value of A is 30. That is the scene. So, the expression given in the curly bracket will either it will take place or it will not take place. The rest of the things in the program will be as it is. So, this is what you called a simple if statement. Now, coming to the next one, another variation which is of if else statement. So, in the previous version there was no else, only if statement was there, but here along with if statement and else statement is also we can say inserted. So, when we want to execute a block of code, if the condition is true and another block of code if the condition is false. So, let us say what is happening here. Condition is evaluated, if true then do this and if false then do this. So, in this situation we will be using if else statement and the syntax is shown on the screen which says if condition in the bracket, then whatever the statement will take place if the condition is true, followed by else and the block of statements which is executed when the condition is false. So, true statement block and false statement block is there. And this can be this we can understand with the help of a figure. So, if the condition is true, then one piece of code which is written as if code will take place, and if condition is false then else code will take place, and in both the scenarios the statements which are written after if else will be executed. So, either the if code or the else code will be executed, and condition obviously here is another boolean expression which is giving you answer in either true or false. So, let us see the last example quickly. So, here A is equals to 10 and B is equals to 20. Now, the statement if a statement is if A is greater than B. So, if A is greater than B, here in this situation A is not greater than B, then it will go to else situation and the statement which is printed is B is greater than A. Now, in the situation assuming that A is having a value of 30, then yes, 30 is greater than 20, then what will be the printed situation, or what is going to be get printed is A is greater than B. So, either A is greater than B is printed or B is greater than A is printed, depending upon the answer of the situation or answer of the conditional statement which is A greater than B. So, here in this lecture we have started with control flow, and after sequencing we have started the selection statement, and within the selection statement we have seen simple if statement and if else statement too. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.